Oh, my lovelies, do we have a treat today? We have the Severance Season 2 finale. I just want to take a look at the two last scenes that I thought were really well done, that really grabbed my attention, and I just thought they were great. The first scene is where we finally get to see Mark and Gemma's outies reunite into a beautiful, passionate kiss, which we're gonna look at right now. What I love about this scene is just how close it is. We're like right in that elevator there with them. Bam, it's beautiful. And it's like, boom, it punches in a little bit. Just look at that. Just look how tight that scene is. Now, if you think of this as just a frame we're looking at here, like a picture, we don't really have a lot of space. We have this over here, and just the way they're kind of centered there. And this is actually pretty funny, the way the lips are smashed together. But I thought this was really well done. And I thought that you could really feel the vibe of what they were going for. I felt it. I don't know if you felt it, but I certainly did. Yeah, and it's like crazy too to think about, like, he's covered in blood over here. And what I also love about it, we look at his red collar, is, you know, which we're about to look at too, is this, like, the way they use lighting and color in Severance is incredible. Like, you have the completely whitewashed world of Lumon, where everything's just really well lit. It's real cool lighting. And then you have the red, which, if you paid attention to the credits were actually red at the end of this season. So let's take a look at their rundown. Boom. Look at that shot right there. This is very Stanley Kubrick-esque, I think. And what I love is these guiding lines that we have. If we look at Gemma right here, right? Look at her, look at the way these lines. She is almost perfectly centered in there. Look at those. And again, like, all this stuff is super intentional. I wouldn't be surprised if they had to take this shot a couple of times because they want to make sure that she was just lined up like this. And then we also have the color red, and the whole juxtaposition of the red, of the white lighting and the red. I mean, I just think that that's amazing. Mark's Innie's big debate and conflict of, like, coming to almost self-actualization of, like, I'm an actual person. I thought that conflict alone, that internal struggle that the Innie had, it's almost as if, to me, Mark's Innie had his own consciousness, and just realizing that, like, hey, I might walk out that door and the Audi's gonna take over and I may never exist again. I may never be with Helly. The conflict I just thought was awesome. And when I was watching this scene, I just remember being, like, totally enthralled with it. Like, were you? What did you think of that? It's amazing. So right here, this is where Mark's basically begging her to go to the other side. Gotta go. Boom. And look at this. What I love about this, again, is, like, look how wide this shot starts, right? As Gemma is getting ready to walk through the doorway and go from Innie Jenna to Outie Jenna. That's one of my favorite things of the cinematography in this. And we'll just go frame by frame here as much as we can. And just watch these sides over here and watch how they close in on her. And just kind of, like, I feel like they do that to create, like, a lot of intensity and a lot of emotion. And look at that, just the way it closes in on her. And we get that white light where she's going into Outie Gemma here. Bam! And it gets cut off, of course, but I mean, just look at that. The red's going away. And she's walking through the doorway. But again, like, I'll rewind this stuff like 30 times and just pause it and just really look at what's going on. I mean, over here, you have Mark's just turned around and he's seen Helly. Helly just called his name, which I thought the timing on that was perfect. I don't know about you, but I knew that was coming. I'm sure you knew it was coming. But the way they delivered the scene was awesome. The timing of her sliding in the scene and saying, Mark, was great. And we have Gemma over here. And look at that. She is just, like, tight. And then we got big scene on Mark's Innie right here, just trying to figure out what to do. And the red, the color red, boom, beautiful use.
11 minutes later.
All right, so what's super cool about this is the part where Helly slides in. We see her all blurred out. Beautifully done. We know it's coming. We know that Mark's Innie is going to have to make a choice. And I thought this internal conflict was awesome for several reasons. And let's just go. Turns around. We're going to pause it right. This is so good and well done because to the left is Helly. In the middle is Mark. And then in the far right, who's slowly becoming distant, is Gemma. And this is such a well-crafted scene. We got that song, Windmills of Your Mind, playing. And the red, and then to me, the flashing lights is the innie and the outie worlds. It's a metaphor for the innie and outie worlds going crazy. I mean, just look at this. Oh, this is so well done. The further away he gets. And there she is. This right here is amazing. If you think about this in the rule of thirds is basically like how you can break up a scene. You have two lines going down this way, that would be at the center. Then you have two lines going across this way. And it's kind of the way people set stuff up. But what's really awesome is just he's almost perfectly centered. She's just becoming blurrier and blurrier through there. Mark's Innie has made the choice. And what I love about the look on his face is he's like, I don't know what is going to happen, but I know that I love you. And I know if we get a chance and we can make some sweet love, it's going to be intense. Let's look at this. And you can also look at red as like love, symbolizes love. Look at that. And I love the purity an innocent look on Helly's face. I mean, that is such an innocent and sweet look. And it's also the contrast between Helly and her outie, Helena. I mean, I think she just knocked it out of the park in almost every scene she was in. And he's like, yeah, baby, we are in it. Clarity. And just look at that shot. Oh, the close-ups. Smile on her face. This is really intense. I loved watching this. That is intense. Oh, that look. I love that look that she gives her. Look at that look. Perfectly centered. Just bam. She's like, I won. And then to switch over and notice this shot too. This is like the appreciation stuff of what I geek out on. I'm such a visual person. I love this. Just look at this. Look how like that hallway is just perfectly centered and how these guiding lines, you gotta get rid of this stupid thing, and how these lines just are going this way to direct us. And look at the black up here. That stuff is so intentional to lead our eyes just to go look at this. And it's again, frames within frames within frames, right? You got this wall framing this, these lines, this doorway. Then we have this little rectangle here, framing the distant Gemma. And then we have this light up here, just a shape in there to add some more texture. It's beautifully done. Now this running scene is awesome. What I love about this is I think it's relatable. It's almost like young love, like the excitement of that. And what I love about this scene is when we watch it is how their faces change from like, especially Helly's. Helly's face in the beginning is like she's smiling, she seems happy, but then by the time we get to the end, as viewers, we are there with them running down that hallway into the unknown. And Mark's Innie could have easily made the choice to go out there and have Mark's outie take over so Mark can go off with Gemma. But then, the show would be over. And that would suck because we're just getting warmed up and we're just getting rolling. But again, look at the way their faces change, like in the beginning here. Let's take a look. So well done. They're just running into the unknown. And to me, Helly's character was the first one to sort of self-actualize because she's such a rebellious badass. And I think she had such an influence on Mark's innie that helped Mark self-actualize in that one scene where he's going back and forth with a video camera with outie Mark talking to innie Mark. This right here, oh my God, can we talk about this? And they used lighting to frame everything too. I mean, this almost looks like what is it? Enter the Dragon, where Bruce Lee is in the scene with all the mirrors. I mean, this is like, look how the scene is just cut up. You have, boom, the white part here, the red part here, the white part here, the red part here, and the depth of this. Oh my God, this could be a painting. This reminds me a lot of like Stanley Kubrick, because the big thing with Stanley Kubrick's scene, and the one movie eludes me that he did, but you can like pause and just look at the frame and it could be a painting. Like this right here could be some art hanging on someone's wall. The way they just use the colors is great. Boom, here we go. Just running into the unknown. And this is totally like, this is so Stanley Kubrick. And so here, look at that smile. She's smiling. He's like, are we gonna do this or what? It's so well done. And Space Odyssey, 2001, A Space Odyssey. That's what a lot of this reminds me of, the same sort of color palette. And we go from her running, smiling, seeming so confident. Oh, the symbolism of the red and the white, the lights, it's just amazing. And then we get to this right here. And what I love about this shot, again, this could be a painting, but just look how I pointed out, like when they're first running down the hallway, her face, she's like smiling. You could feel the excitement I was right there with them. Like, oh yeah, this is great. And now this scene, what I love is they captured this so perfectly. I mean, if you look at Helly's face and Mark's face, Mark is kind of like, what the fuck did I just do? And Helly is kind of like, what is gonna happen? And what I think what they did a really good job with this, it almost reflects our sort of viewing experience of like, what is gonna happen next? Great cliffhanger. I don't know what you thought. I thought this was a great season finale. I thought this was a great payoff to the season. I love this episode. I thought it was amazing. I thought the scene was awesome. Like the pacing, everything just was really great and spot on. So much to look forward to for season 3. But I'd love to hear what you think too. Like what stuck out to you with this scene? What did you think was interesting? Are there some things that you're like, I didn't really care for this or that? What kind of theories do you have for season 3? Would love to hear that too. So just drop a comment below. And as always, take care of yourself. Let's take care of each other. And much love, everybody.